Now, I have talked a lot about other, God, I shouldn't say celebrities. That's kind of fucked up. Oh, I just swore within the first 10 seconds of the YouTube video. Okay, no one's going to see this. Never mind. I have made a couple episodes about Jeffrey Epstein. Um, Now, Jeffrey Epstein was not a good man. I think we can all agree on that. He was not a good person. He was a great person. No, I'm just kidding. Please don't clip that. Um, no, he wasn't a good person. And it got me thinking, there's a lot of people out there, both past and present, who haven't been the best kind of people. Now, when you talk about bad people, the first immediately goes to Adolf Hitler. And then you have like Stalin, maybe like Mao Zedong, depending on who you ask, like Genghis Khan. But I think that was so long ago, I've forgiven him. But there's someone in somewhat recent history, not at the scale that we were just discussing, but that's Pablo Escobar. Pablo Escobar is a very interesting story, interesting character, because like Hitler was bad, Stalin was bad, but they were leaders of countries. And I guess depending on who you ask, Pablo Escobar was the leader of Colombia. Not really, but at least the underworld, you could argue that. But the more interesting thing about Pablo Escobar is how he was considered a criminal for most of his career, like criminal to his government, criminal to the world for most of his career. And yet he was still one of the world's most richest men. You know, Jeffrey Epstein did that shit. Horrible, terrible stuff. But he didn't crack the top 10. He didn't crack the top 10. My feeling on things is that no, oh my God, this is going to sound so bad. This is going to sound so bad. If you work at YouTube, you better turn this video off right now. This is all a joke, by the way. This is just satire. This entire channel is just satire. I don't believe anything on here that I actually talk about. So that's just me prefacing this. But I'm going to go ahead and say with this, I'm getting back into character right now as John Q. Ranter. That's my character's name. No action is truly evil if you die on a bed of money or they make statues out of you. So Pablo Escobar, I don't know exactly like the full story, but from what I understood, like he burned through almost all of his money. His business operations got shut down from his rivals and from the government. He didn't have nearly the same amount of wealth, or at least access to it, that he had during his prime. So, he didn't really have the resources he needed to evade the law that final time. Which, speaking of evading the law, or rather not evading the law, I didn't know this, but they took pictures with his dead body. Like when you're hunting, I'm sure some of you hunt. When you're hunting and like you get like a buck and you like kneel down on the ground and you like lift up the head and you take pictures with it, they did that with his body. Now, Pablo Escobar was a bad guy, but goddamn, the disrespect on that. Holy shit. Holy shit. Are you kidding me? You're going to post up with Pablo Escobar's corpse? That's insane. That's insane. I saw the pictures of like, it's like your group of boys, you've been hunting this guy for years. And your first thought is, hey, let's get a picture. Let's get a picture for the Insta, Let's do it for the Vine, if anyone remembers that. But my God, I would have never thought that was the direction they were going to go in. It was a very controversial killing because apparently he was running away. I don't know if he was armed or not, but Colombia was just kind of over it. They were just kind of over it. They had been dealing with him for quite a while. They had already, I don't know if you could say captured him, He like willingly surrendered and then, went into his own prison, which was kind of a joke. But they just thought that, hey, it's better off if he's not here. It's better off if he's not alive. Now I'm not going to say that that was the right decision to make because I'm not Colombia. I don't care. But I can tell you right now, it's not the right decision to post up, you know, with a recently killed. I mean, it was literally like minutes after, maybe like an hour max. And they just post up and then they just, take their pictures, put it in the newspaper, put it in whatever, and then that's it. Just call it a day. Yeah, very, very, very odd in my opinion. Very, very odd. But that should be pretty much it. I'm not gonna say rest in peace, Pablo Escobar, because that's kind of fucked up. He killed quite a lot of people. But good work on all the people that tracked him down and caught him. Good for you guys. Yeah, good for you guys. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm sure you guys had a lot of pent up anger that you needed to express. So there's that. I appreciate you listening to this, and I will see you tomorrow.